I've got just a little kind of a news tidbit that kind of came out. I saw earlier today. Sharon Osbourne, I think it might have been in Metal Hammer magazine or whatever online. She said she would not be opposed to eventually doing like Black Sabbath avatars. So I'm like sitting there and I was reading it, and there was kind of a backhanded comment in there with Dio, because she said like the ABBA ones are so popular. I guess there's an ABBA one. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, there's an
That
Apple one.
sells. They
Yeah.
did so much money and did really well. And then she said like Ronnie James Dio had something with one, but it didn't do
No,
as good. And I was like,
no.
well, come on.
He had a hologram one.
That's the
Yeah, the
one, a
hologram.
hologram one. Yeah, it was probably like, now the avatars are a little bit different than the original hologram shows. But anyway, she kind of just said maybe it wasn't everybody's taste. I don't think that's it. I think you're comparing like heavy metal to ABBA to some degree. I mean, give me a break here. Like, it is what it is, and I think people have a lot of respect for Ronnie. And I don't know. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on this. I just think it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, so she's probably already seemed like, to me, the article was very aloof, kind of, but it seemed like to me she was setting sort of a little bit of a foundational groundwork that maybe this would be something that's coming. I don't know, but with her, anything's possible, I guess. After the final show type thing, and Kiss had their avatars come out, and they're
Yeah, but
planning
it
to do
didn't work.
something with
Nobody
that. I mean,
cared.
that's a little bit different. I mean, Kiss is
Yeah.
more comic book characters with the makeup, and it makes more sense. Even though I wouldn't really support it, I don't really care that much. Hey, but more the power if there's fans out there for it. I just think the Black Sabbath one, I just like, man, like, just let's not take the Mickey out of everything here. Let's like, why do they have? I know it's cash and it's all about money, but oh my god, let's go on with this final show thing and then go from there, and let's just, you know, it's Sabbath, for Christ's sakes. It's like, this is the Church of Sabbath. We don't need this. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, that
That's
totally
lame.
sounds like Sharon Osbourne, right? Like, how do you? I mean, it's like Gene Simmons, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he's all for the Avatar too. But it's a good point, Jim. Like, I didn't think about like, I mean, Kiss is not my thing. I never was a fan, but yeah, they're a little bit more like visual and stuff.
yeah.
I still wouldn't kind of go for that. So I don't know, but this is slightly off topic. But you mentioned Sharon. Did you guys see? She was doing an interview, I think this week, and they asked her what was the worst mistake you ever made managing Ozzy. Did you see that?
No.
And
No, I
she
don't think I
said,
saw it either.
the
No.
worst mistake was, I think it was Disney, like whoever did the Pirates of the Caribbean. They
Oh yeah.
reached out to Ozzy and asked him to come and read for the Jack Sparrow part.
Yes, yes.
Because like the way he talks, right, it kind of
Yeah.
fits the drunken character, and she just blew it away. But obviously, he would have made hundreds of millions of dollars had he done that.
Jesus.
So,
Could you imagine Ozzy as Jack Sparrow?
funny story. I don't know, but
Interesting. That's funny.
What's your
You
thought?
know what though? This whole thing reminds me of like, I don't know if you ever seen that, Billy, but back in the day in Toronto, we used to have the planetarium here where
yeah,
they do
Yes.
the laser light show. That's what it reminds me of. It's just, yeah, you put the music on, you get the laser lights. That's exactly what this is to me. It's like maybe not as a cheap version, but it's just, I don't know.
I
It's
would
all
never.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to shell out big bucks to watch Ronnie as a laser, whatever you want to call him. I don't know. It's kind of lame.
Yeah.
It's
And
lame.
I got to see that hologram show at Wacken in like
Oh yeah.
2015 or 16, I think it was. But yeah,
You
they
saw it?
did a
Okay.
concert, and Dio was a hologram, and
How
it
was
was
it though?
creepy and weird and
Yeah.
not enjoyable and just
Yeah.
awkward. And so, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, holograms would be no different.
Yeah, holograms, avatars,
Yeah.
laser whatevers. I don't know. It's just
But yeah,
it's
your comparison to the planetarium is totally true, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's not
because that
meant.
was the first time that they started doing that way back
Yeah,
when.
yeah,
Because I saw the Floyd, I went and saw the Pink Floyd one, and
Yeah.
it's like it kind of works for what it is. But I mean, I don't know. I don't
I
like
think a planetarium, basic planetarium show, listening to 2112 by Rush would be cool. But you'd have to take something before you go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It would be good. It would work.
But yeah.
But yeah,
I wanted to bring that up with Sharon. I find it's just like, oh, this constant milking of the old acts are driving me nuts.
And if she wants to make money, just get like Tony out there with Tony Martin.
Yeah.
Good idea. Tony and Martin and whoever else could still do the trick. You could get another tour in.
Or come up with some unreleased. There's got to be some unreleased stuff somewhere that, like, fans like us would buy this stuff, a show or something's has.
I'd buy the Tony Martin stuff for sure. If that was
I love the Tony Martin era.
Yeah, me too.
Like, this may sound morbid, but do you think they're waiting for like the death of Ozzy? Like, like when artists die, their record sales go crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll release all this like stuff like when he's passed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, the same debate's going on with Eddie Van Halen.
Exactly. Yeah,
true.
I mean, like, he's got apparently a whole crap load of demos and crap that's waiting to come out, and there's been all kinds of conjecture about how to do it, when to do it. So, yeah, I mean, it seems to be a thing for these artists to do that. Even David Bowie, apparently, when he died, he left specific instructions for his kids to release his music, whatever. He's got shitloads of it. I think even Prince does too, apparently.
I'm sure.
So all these artists have it. Like, they have all this shit.
Yeah.
But it's, when Ozzy does pass, my God, that's going to be a blow to the metal community. Even though, he's in rough shape, we still have the least he's there. And it's like, it's just, that's going to be a dark day for sure because he's such a pivotal figure, sad.
And then you contrast it with Angus Young, who just turned 70.
Wow.
And he's still on stage going.
Oh, yeah. Still rips it. Yeah.
I give the guy props.